My name is DeShaune Williams. I am the Vice President of Business Development for Built Environment Solutions side of the house. For those of you that are not familiar with the Built Environment Solution, we are made up of architects, engineers, and building scientists who look at extending the useful life of an owned asset. It's a spin-off of the 40-year history of what Rimkus has been. And my group is really out there to expand the customer-based knowledge of what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. I've been with Rimkus for 10 years and look forward to being here as long as possible in whatever leadership role that's needed as we continue to expand our brand. My leadership journey really started when I really joined Rimkus and really kind of took it on myself to become a leader within the Western region. How it's shaped me and allowed me to go. I've been given the autonomy to really do what I think works, really sharing those visions with leadership and then being supported when I really want to make those tough decisions or choices. A truly effective leader is one that listens, is malleable in certain ways. In my opinion, probably the most important characteristic, compassionate. This is a tough job, it's a tough industry. There's a lot of competition, and so being empathetic to your team members is really important in the grand scope of what we do. When looking at team members and how to, elevate their overall morale or just how they think about their job, one of the things I always try and do is give them a voice, let them be heard. We do a tremendous job doing one-on-ones weekly. We have a weekly team huddle where everyone can kind of share what's going on. But in the one-on-ones, I really like to dig into what's driving their day, what's making them happy, what's making them unhappy. It's almost kind of like a stay interview where you're interviewing them on a weekly basis to find out what makes them happy so that they're not looking to make change. I'm also very transparent with, where the company's going, what our visions are, and how we collectively are going to get there. One thing that's super important with, looking at ensuring that you have a strong, cohesive team is really giving your team a voice, giving each one of your employees the opportunity to feel like they're an important part of the company. But I really want team members to grasp the idea that they're an important part of what Rimkus is doing and singularly important to what we're doing on the business development side of things. When fostering a culture of inclusivity, I really like to get my teammates just involved in the overall success of what we're doing. One of the greatest benefits is seeing that you're an individual contributor to the overall success of the company. And so weekly, we talk about some of the successes in our team huddle. And I'll ask someone to kind of go through what their prior week looked like and some of the successes that they had in that week. And then we move that week to week. And it really just kind of gives everyone a buy-in as to what we're doing, what we're trying to achieve, both on the business and built environment solution side, as well as in the overall picture of what Rimkus is trying to do. Pivotal lessons that have influenced me really started early in my tenure here at Rimkus. I was at a conference very early on in my career, and I was with our CEO, John Higgins. And one of the messages that came out of that was, you are an incredibly bright light. You have the ability to be the brightest light in the room, but sometimes you need to allow other people's light to shine. Being humble is a key characteristic that we all can improve upon. And for me, that started that day with that message from Mr. Higgins. My sisters and parents have been super important as far as mentors and providing guidance to where my career should go. Not necessarily here, but in general, right? Just building block principles that I could work with and build upon as I moved throughout my career. Internally, I've been super lucky. One thing that I've had access to is some of the most recent leaders that have ever worked at Rimkus that have run the company, from, again, Bob Coker to Curtis Brown, Frank Culberson, and to our most recent CEO, Jonathan Higgins. All of them I've learned something from. I have personal hobbies and passions that definitely cross over into what my Rimkus life looks like. And I think the biggest one that I can identify off the bat is golf. Because with golf, you have to learn to be patient. You have to learn that you can't always succeed, that you can't take chances all the time. But you need to be very consistent, repeatable, and dynamic at the same time. My personal journey before joining Rimkus really started as a kid, really. I've always been that outgoing kind of shining star kid who always loved attention, always liked to talk, always liked to be a part of the solution, whatever it may be. That being said, I, over my career, morphed into an insurance role, hired Rimkus multiple times, really saw some of the dynamic pieces that Rimkus had to offer, but also understood that engineers weren't necessarily great at selling themselves. So when this opportunity came about to really kind of shine in who I've been since a child and really push that or be fostered into this sales role, that's where I'm at today. It all just kind of came full circle where I found the career that best allowed me to still be who I am and utilize the tools that I had since birth, I'd like to say.